Sapphire592 here with my special guest, Freyja. Today we're actually going to be doing a theory video. That's why I invited Freyja here. And we're gonna split this video into 3 parts. The first part will be about sparks, about what we know canonly about sparks. Part 2 will be my theory on spark origins and where they came from. Part 3 will be our joint theory on the Betwixt and what the Betwixt is and what it does, things like that.
I'm going to be going over all the canon lore of sparks. Sparks are shards from a star that is broken apart, and they come alive with imagination. Sparks aren't native to planet Feral, but they're drawn to the planet because of Feral's magical core. Sparks can be found right on your avatar's forehead, and they have important kinetic magic. This magic allows them to transform into any creature. But to become a creature, you have to truly believe that you are that creature.
According to Fer.al, sparks are thought to come from the shards of a long-lost star and are brought to life by imagination. They hold a powerful kinetic energy that allows them to shapeshift, and they have been drawn from across the galaxy to Fer.al. Fueled by passion and potential, sparks can live forever as long as they keep their fervor alight. This gives us a bit of information, but not quite what we're looking for. Imagination is powerful, but in a world of magical objects and non-native creatures, this doesn't seem to fully explain how the shards of stars were able to become sentient. For example, there are a lot of things in this world that run with what we call the law of equivalent exchange.
It is impossible to create something out of nothing. If one wishes to obtain something, something of equal value must be given. This is the law of equivalent exchange.
With most realms of magic, including Fer.al, there is a law of equivalent exchange. And in this case, the imagination that it would take to create an undying creature, it would take a lot of energy. And that energy doesn't just come from nowhere. Most creatures we've seen in native to Fer.al have life cycles like normal creatures, and most creatures created by magic don't stay forever. So it must be something other than just imagination that can do this. Sparks can live as long as they want, but only if they have the desire to do so. That is why mental health is really important for them. They can shapeshift, but only if they really feel like the shape that they will transform into. Sparks are mysteriously attracted to planet Feral's core. Also, Queen Delilah once said about a comment asking if she was dead, quote, "It is a complicated matter I would rather not discuss for now." So, that makes it sound as though either Fer.al or someone connected to Fer.al were bringing the sparks here. And that's when I saw the bottom part. Quote, "Queen Delilah once said about a comment asking if she was dead, it is a complicated matter I would rather not discuss." Interesting word choice was used with the Queen's royal titles. There's Aradia, the Fell Queen, and Delilah, the Lich Queen. If you don't know what a lich is kind of like a zombie, but not quite. It's basically an undead thing. But liches, unlike zombies, which are often depicted as mindless, liches are sentient, retaining their previous intelligence and magical abilities. Liches are often depicted as holding power over lesser undead soldiers and servants. An undying lich. We know that Delilah is not native to Fer.al and has multiple sparks that can be seen on her antlers. That's when it hit me. Delilah is the Lich Queen, because she's the queen over us, and we ourselves are liches. The sparks are souls from all over the universe. The souls use the shards from the stars to reanimate themselves, and therefore have the power to live or die according to their own desire. A good example of this would be the book Aragon. In Aragon, or the Inheritance Cycle, there are what are called the Dragon's Heart of Hearts, or the Eldrinari. And the Eldrinari of a dragon could be used by them as a means of storing their consciousness, allowing them to live after their bodies had failed them, and also becoming a powerful tool of communication while the dragon remained alive. Typically, if a dragon didn't store their consciousness in it, a dragon's Eldrinari slowly dissolved along with the dragon's body after it died. However, if a dragon wanted to, it could place its consciousness into its Eldrinari, turning it the color of the dragon's scales and making it glow. This would make the dragon's consciousness live on forever within the jewel unless the Eldrinari was broken. With this theory, I first thought that maybe the queens had been the reason for the sparks meeting, the lost souls. Maybe the queens combine their power to animate this world and help the souls find shards, so they become sparks. But with the recent discovery that the queens themselves aren't natives either, and that the world of Fer.al draws upon their strength, it made me think that maybe their souls were extra powerful, or were able to attach to multiple shards. It also seems that the world of Fer.al is creating these sparks for some internal need for magical energy. And in this case, it's looking for some quote-unquote extra batteries to help out when Fer.al needs to correct itself. The NPCs don't have sparks because they were born here. They have their souls still, aside from maybe the seraphs. You could compare this to Hazbin Hotel's imps versus the damned souls in hell like angel dust. The imps were born in hell, and so they don't know anything different. That's their home. While the damned souls in hell, they were put there from another life. The spark is the object harnessing the soul. The soul doesn't have a tangible body to attach itself because its original body has rejected it or died. So it attaches to something that can hold it and simulate forms or shapeshift. The shards give the soul power to form a body for themselves and modify it according to its desires. The sparks only shapeshift when they feel like that form, since it could be interpreted as them missing their old bodies. Most sparks have no memory of their life before, with the exception of this dude. Some sparks, such as this dude, keep their last name from their previous home to honor it. Creatures without sparks are born on the planet of Fer.al but are able to recognize sparks. Another new and interesting fact has come to light in the form of spark disabilities. In this post by Play Fer.al it states, sparks can sustain damage in all sorts of events, including even their very creation. Such damage may make it difficult for a spark to perform magic and take other forms, but may rely on spellbooks or use other means to manage these disabilities. I believe this damage occurs when an outside force tries to interfere with the creation of a spark or the soul is unwilling to bind to a shard. I believe that these sparks are the reason why most sparks don't remember their life before they became a spark. Some souls are unwilling to be tampered with, even if it means to live again. Because if you remember what I said before, I believe that Fer.al may be making these sparks as kind of extra battery to power it whenever the world gets kind of messed up, like it did for the queens. So, in summary, the sparks are souls from all over the universe. The souls use the shards from the stars to reanimate themselves and therefore have the power to live or die according to their own desire. We are basically all undying liches. We all die only when we want to. Delilah is the Lich Queen because she is the queen over us and she herself is a spark. Most NPCs don't have sparks because they were born here. They have their soul still. The spark is the object harnessing the soul. And the soul doesn't have a tangible body to attach itself, because its original body has rejected it and died. So it attaches to something that can hold it and simulate forms, or shapeshift. The sparks give them bodies, and Fer.al itself helps them find sparks to satisfy its need for magical energy as a form of generator to fix itself.
First, let's discuss the tiny amount of canon lore we currently have about the Betwixt. According to Sam on the Fer.al Discord server, the Betwixt is a negative dimension that runs alongside Ferals. It has a corrosive effect on things that enter because it pulls their essence inside it and echoes it back as tangled information or code. This could take form of twisted objects made of disparate materials or more nebulous things like cacophonous thoughts and madness. Other than that, we really don't have much in the form of canon lore. Hopefully in the future we will get more in-depth information. However, the reference of cacophonous thoughts and madness seems to refer to Blood Tundra in a way, like the Betwixt is somehow connected to the Blood Tundra. Recently in City Freyja, many of the NPCs have started referring to the cold. In the big lore doc, it shows that many examples of this, including some dialogue from Karen. Karen says, "Blood Tundra's inconveniencing, uncomfortable aura has moved here," which continues to suggest that Blood Tundra is connected to the Betwixt. Okay, now for the full theory. The Betwixt is like a hell for the Undying, since everything is constantly shifting and reforming because of the constant destruction. Nothing has tangible form, and those in the Betwixt are in a kind of suspended animation until a significant movement in the stars. They are in constant shifting and change and are constantly fighting destruction. This destruction, however, is rooted in the destruction or manipulation of time and magic corruption. The whole of the Betwixt is laced with magic toxins that affect anything without resistance. They corrupt magic and therefore mess with the very fabric of Fer.al's reality. This is why everything from time to the Queen's Slumber is unstable. The toxins ebb away or get strengthened through the phases of the stars and moon. This is also where the extra batteries we talked about earlier come into the picture. It seems that sparks are the only creature able to stabilize magic around them and therefore cure areas of the Betwixt toxins. In reference to spark theory, this seems to be one of the main reasons sparks were brought to Fer.al, to help it recharge and to stabilize the magic core. Non-sparks are extremely affected by the Betwixt because they are creatures of magic. When magic of the Betwixt is near or around them, they can sense it with startling acuteness. Signs of the Betwixt weakness can also include memory loss, scrambled thought, and madness. Prolonged exposure seems to also cause color mutation in living things such as creatures and plants. An example of this would be Blood Tundra and Luca. Blood Tundra, as most Fer.al players know, used to be a place similar to Lakewood Valley before the fight between the Watcher and Wayfarer. After this fight, it was cursed and became what it is today. This curse may or may not be linked to the Betwixt, but it seems to have all the signs of magical corruption. At the end of the battle, it's clear that the Watcher kills the Wayfarer, and its bones make the Blood Lake and Blood Tundra. However, in this picture, there are tears of blood clearly seen. Maybe the Watcher was affected by the Betwixt madness? That may be what drove them to kill the Wayfarer and curse their own land in order to spread madness. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Let us know down below if you have any thoughts on this theories, like do you think it's true or not? Or let us know any other theories you have about the Blood Tundra and the Betwixt. Me and Sapphire have been working on this video for a really long time and we're super happy it's finished.
Yeah, we've been working on this video for like literally months because we've had a lot of school and other things to deal with. You see that button down there? Yeah, it says comment. Click it and also tell us what your favorite part about the video was and what your favorite theory or idea that we had was. And thank you so much for watching. Bye! You can go now.